Hey everybody, Jordan O'Connor here. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you have a dream that is dying inside of you or living on the shelf, covered up in dust? A thing that you just know you're kind of supposed to maybe be doing instead of what you're really up to? That's a question I just want to leave with you for a moment because this is your life. There is no plan B. So, my encouragement is for all of us to get together and stop living as though this life is like a dress rehearsal. We get one chance at it fully and completely, and it is our own. Inside each and every one of us, I believe, is a dream or something that excites you, something in your heart, something that resonates. And a lot of us end up shutting it down because of trauma or because of anxiety or lack of belief in ourselves, or someone along the way, probably in our younger years, someone said we couldn't do it or we didn't do it well enough or it wasn't quite whatever. So most people, again, are just projecting their stuff onto us. And when we take it on as our own, especially as empaths or highly sensitive people, we start to believe that others know best for us. And when we do that, it is a total sellout of the soul. And it will cause you anxiety, it will cause you depression. You'll have a little bit of unease just overall kind of running your life. And like you know on some level, something isn't quite right. You're not quite in a state of relaxed bliss. You're not in a state of joy. Your flow is a little bit off. You're not manifesting the things you want to, even though you're doing all the right work and you think you're doing the real work. And that's again because of our shadow selves. We tend to do that. So I wanted to just let you know a couple tips. One of them is believing the mind. We tend to believe the stories of the mind that say we can't do it. That's not even our own voice in there. That's the voice that was planted from someone else from a long away that says we can't or we shouldn't or we won't or we'll fail or we'll get hurt. And so we start to believe that to keep ourselves safe. We constantly put ourselves in a low level state of fight or flight rather than just freely expressing ourselves fully as who we are the way we used to when we were children and we didn't care who was watching. So if there's a part of you that this is resonating with because you know you've shut down a piece of yourself and you haven't been true to your calling, I'd love to support you along your journey. What most of us end up experiencing is doubt. And people tend to believe doubt when doubt itself is only just doubt. So doubt is another invention of the mind, same as fear, same as the thought that says you shouldn't do this, you will die if you do this, your fight or flight response. But doubt gets a little bit sneakier because it adds things like you shouldn't do this because then X, Y, or Z all in catastrophe will happen. So recognizing that it has a lot of story and a lot of layers. But when again you can get behind the thoughts of the mind and really anchored into the quieter space behind you, you can see doubt as only doubt, as opposed to trying to unravel and unwind all of those stories that are holding you back and stopping you. So be willing to bear the discomfort of this transformation. This is a massive thing that most people are unwilling to do. Whatever stories in their mind that have become seeds of themselves have absolutely diminished and squished and squashed the dream because people are unwilling to bear the pain and courage of your heart beating fast, of the life force energy inside of you, of risking being seen, risking failing, risking relationships, risking that maybe you'll go out and try that dream and it will completely blow up in your face. Who knows what will happen? So people tend to stay small. They don't speak their truths. They let other people decide for them who they're going to be and become in their lives. And the reality is there's a lot of us out there that have shut ourselves down through anxiety, through trauma, and not sure how to even get out and start again. So if you are somebody who has over time let yourself been run with anxiety, low level or even heavy depression that you just can't quite break out, it is most often because you know there's a piece of your soul that you are not living fully, truthfully, on path, on point, in integrity, what you promised you said you would do before you even got here. And if you're letting all of that happen, I promise your life will turn sideways and it will hurt more and more and more as you go on through time when you keep ignoring what your true heart's calling is. And it does take courage. It takes strength, it takes community, it takes vulnerability, it takes willingness to fail, it takes willingness to be judged by others. It takes willingness to actually get vulnerable enough to let people close again so that you can look at your own shadows and start to have some self-compassion instead of just projecting all of your emotions onto other people. It takes true commitment. But through this commitment to your heart and your heart's knowing and listening again and dusting it off and supporting it with some love and community and some tools, you can start to bring your heart forward again into the world so that your message is actually useful. So many people out there are splashing messages all over the planet that are harming, hurting, keeping us separate, and actually doing more damage than good. Whereas there are a lot of introverted, empathic types of people with really powerful messages that are hiding at home because they're scared of judgment and they've been hurt before. So when you actually do the commitment of the work and get that support around you and get new tools, you can allow the universe through your own surrender to actually start pushing through you again the way it's always wanted to. So instead of pushing against your life, you let your life come through yourself, through your body, through your heart, through your desires, and come through you. It starts to support you. And when you are at that level of vibration and that level of commitment, next thing you know, you are suddenly manifesting the right and perfect moments, the right and perfect people, the right and perfect conversations, and you start to actually gain momentum for what you are here to create. You start collecting evidence for the fact that when you say yes and you stay commitment, it does come through you. Things show up for you, things support you. It's not to say you're not going to have some hiccups, but recognizing even the hiccups that happen along the way are really just old, dusty thoughts and feelings from the past that you're splashing onto your now. So taking them way less seriously, and so that it's not as catastrophic. You're not tripping over yourself anymore. They're just little bumps. And again, you kind of learn to laugh it off and move along anyways. So as you say yes, with support, with new tools, with commitment, which I'm happy to help you with all of those things, the universe, source, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, starts to work with you. It is the life force energy that is in all of us, that is through us, around us, surrounds us, pervades us, fulfills us. It is inseparable from us. But when we get aligned, we activate this inside of ourselves. And when we are activated, we are actual creators, on purpose, on point, facilitating a world that is from love and light, and people don't have to be putting each other down or clawing at each other or coming from scarcity or lack anymore. We gain momentum for love, for community, for giving, for sharing, and it isn't all just, puffy clouds and, unicorns. This is really from a grounded place of when I connect to myself and my energy, I start to manifest the same energy back in to support me. So I come from a solid heart place. This is your life. There is no plan B. There's no backup plan. You need to be all in for this one. And if you are feeling unhappy or things are not working in your life and you're feeling frustrated, the only place is to go within, to go back inside, to check in deeply and be willing to look and confront yourself and your shadows to say, what is it that I've been lying to myself about? What have I been doing on a consecutive basis that's not working for me or not true for me anymore? What relationships am I still holding on to that aren't serving me and they're actually really toxic and holding me down? Where am I still projecting my own stuff and not looking inside of myself? I'm still blaming my relationships or my circumstances as opposed to getting really accountable and getting back into flow. Where am I avoiding meditation because I'm afraid to hear what my heart might actually say to me if I get there in stillness or in the quiet? So I understand all of these fears, but you have to ask yourself, what is it costing you to stay stuck, to stay small, to not even listen to the dream that is pounding on your heart anyways? It will still grow through you. The opportunity is there when you unpeel those layers. But how much is it costing you in the meantime? What is it costing you to stay small and stuck, depressed, anxious, surrounding yourself with toxic people, avoiding your own demons, whatever those things look like for you? What is it really costing you in your life? So If this resonates with you and it's hurting bad enough to finally make a change, I would love to support you along your way. Please reach out. Please make comments. I'm here for you. This is your life. This is your one and only life. Don't wait until you are sick or something happens to you to finally put that fire in your heart. Connect to yourself now. Start living now, loud, and just get your message out to the world. More than ever now, we need to hear from you. So if you're hiding and you know you are, come out and play. The world is a safe and wonderful place. You just need to retrain yourself and retrain all of the trauma and your nervous system that's telling you it's not safe. So please just let yourself lighten and feel inspired in your heart and just take the tiniest little action step, the first one, to say yes, and yes to your soul and what wants to happen for you. Thanks, guys. I hope this meets you well, and I hope you're having a fabulous day.